So in the, and I'm gonna screen share this in a second. I want to find the book where you can let me source the book first. Let me source the book. Let me source the book real quick. I'm gonna try to source the book. I think it was called. Let me see. Let me see if I can source the book real quick. I think. Oh yeah, I think it was Strabo Geography. I think that's what the book was. But anyway, Bakulu, you can come on here too. Listen. So as I taught before, and I'm gonna teach again, and I wish I could find this folder, but I had a problem with my system today. But nevertheless, let me bring brother back in, see if he up in here today.
You got me now?
Can you hear me?
I hear you through the app. I changed browsers. That's what I had to do. I don't know what.
Oh yeah, you have to go to Google. Okay, so go ahead, brother. Why you ain't showing your face? You nervous?
Again, this is a new program, so I don't even know how to work this, man.
Yeah, all right, but go ahead, brother. I got you. So go ahead, break down so people can understand what you're saying. Just don't jump out the window in one fight and all that crazy stuff.
No, I got you. All right, so Moor, as a lot of people know when they look it up, it comes from the Greek Mora. Then that got into the Roman, because Rome comes from Greece. Then you get into, that's where you get Mauritania, Morocco, and that's black. And that's what Moor has traditionally meant, a black person. Then once they got mixed in with others, like white slavery, and then especially once they got sent back to North Africa, then anybody who was a Muslim became known as a Moor.
That's your spill. Let me ask you one question.
Okay.
What is your source? Is that just your commentary, or do you actually have a source?
Well, I mean, anybody looks it up, you find it in encyclopedias, history books.
All right. Now listen. So listen, brother. Listen.
Before you go, what is the literal meaning of Moor?
I'm about to share it with you, brother, and I'm gonna give you the source.
All right.
I'm gonna give you the source. So I don't have it on me right now, but I can screen share and I can give you the source. Moor comes from the term Mori. Mauri. Mori. And the story goes that the 3rd century geographer named Strabo, who was a Roman or Greek, one or the other, give or take, when he was traversing towards North Africa, he came across these black people, and I'm talking about the adjective, not the noun. I'm talking about blue black people that identified themselves as the Mori tribe. All right. This is in the book Strabo Geography, written in either the 1st or the 3rd century, somewhere around there. So remember, during this time, the Romans was conquering everything. You follow what I'm saying? This is around what we call the Jesus period. You feel what I'm saying? They was conquering everything. And so he came across these people called the Mori. There was the Mori tribe. This is where the term the Moor comes from in the English lexicon and in the Greek lexicon. So what they begin to do is anybody who had that type of complexion, they would describe any and everybody as Moors.
And that complexion is what you just described.
That's right. It's like an adjective. Right? It's not the tribe, though. It's an adjective. Right. The people didn't call themselves black. They called themselves Mori. And Mori is a designation for those who went west, those who came from the Nile Valley and went west.
Right, because that didn't include the Egyptians.
No, they came through the line of the Egyptians. And they went west and they established kingdoms, right? And so when the kingdoms up in North Africa, Numidia, all of that, these people was already calling themselves Mori, because the term was in reference to those who went west. Now, what Europeans begin to do once they found this tribe, they begin to identify everybody, and they painted it with a wide brush.
Everybody
But
else black, right?
yeah, they begin to paint
Okay.
everybody else. Absolutely. But the term doesn't mean black. It means Westerner or those who went west.
Okay,
So,
you know what? I could accept that.
so Moor does not mean black.
I
And
could
so
accept.
the European, just like somebody in here say Moor, morgue, mortician, Moriga, that is the European rendition of the terminology. But that's not the essence of it.
All right, I can accept that.
You follow what I'm saying?
But you realize you still said that Moor is
No,
black.
they flipped, brother. Do you know that the swastika meant peace?
But you just said earlier. You
No,
said
I didn't say Moor don't mean. I didn't say Moor mean black.
But
I say they character. Let me rephrase it.
You
I
said
didn't say. I never said it mean black.
No, you
I
said visually they saw black people who were the Mori tribe,
no,
and they
they
designated
saw-
that to all black people
Yeah.
that weren't Egyptian.
They listen what I'm saying. No. They designated to anybody who had what they would call a blue-black complexion.
Right.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that's what Mori mean.
Right, but
Just because I call you pink, that doesn't mean that you're pink. That doesn't mean that you're pink. But now, if you are pink and you are of the Igbo tribe, are you pink or are you Igbo?
I guess you could be both.
No, are you pink or are you Igbo? We're talking about nationality. We're talking about tribal affiliation. We're talking about national origin. We're not talking about an adjective. A color is an adjective that describes the noun.
Right.
Right? So a person is never an adjective. A person is a noun.
But really, a person is whatever somebody identifies that person as. Like if somebody says that you're a sucker, then that's how they're identifying.
No, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. But that doesn't make the person a sucker, though.
But the person could be a sucker, though.
Yeah, there could be, but the could be is not definitive, brother.
That's true.
I mean,
but
listen,
check this out.
That is not definitive. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? Let me say one more time. Do you understand that? And I like Zayed Tariq said. Do you understand that the swastika was associated with peace in India?
Yes.
So just because,
Japan,
hold up, let me finish. So just because they used it in Germany and committed atrocity, does that change the essence of what the swastika stands for?
But it did change it.
No, I'm asking you. In essence, does it change what it stands for?
It doesn't change it for the Indian. But
no, it doesn't change it for anybody. It's only changed the perception.
No, it changed it for the rest of the world, though.
No. It changes the perception. It doesn't change what it is. It changes the world's perception.
Right, but that means it changed it for the rest of the world.
But it's perception. They changed the perceptions. They didn't change the essence.
But you cannot change. Is only known by few. But
it doesn't matter.
Is known by,
but this is why we wake people up, because we want to wake people up to the truth of what something really is and not what it seems to be.
Okay, put it like this: if you
what would you want to do? Do you want to know? Do you want to know the real truth, or you wanted to paint it over truth that doesn't represent the real truth?
The whole truth, but we must accept the fact that the truth that came to be known today is still the truth.
That is not the truth. The truth has been manipulated. Come on, brother. How can that be? How can that be the truth? How can that be the truth when it doesn't represent the people who created the concept? If one creates the swastika and say, if I create something and I say, this is what this means, you don't get to come along 100 years later and say, no, now it means that. You can, and you can convince people of that. But at the end of the day, what'll happen is somebody going to figure out and say, hold up, this person played me. This don't mean that. This means this. And that's what you're dealing with the term Mori.
Right. And you could say with Hitler, he stole the swastika and made it his own.
He can't make,
but like rappers steal beats and make it their own.
But listen what I'm saying though. When someone comes along later and says, listen, that's not what that means. You can't continue to be in ignorance and say, no, but it means this now. No.
But it still does mean that now, whether you like it or
not. It does not, bro. It does not. Because if it meant that now, then we wouldn't be able to do the research and find out what it literally meant when it was founded.
But you say Mori means those who went west, right?
Yeah.
And you also say that those who called them Mori from the from.
These were Europeans. They gave us all the right.
Hold on. But you still said you maintain this is what you didn't switch. You said
No, I say European named us that. They named us Negro. Are we Negro?
Hold on.
Okay.
But here's the key thing. You said that they named people of a certain type they saw visually Mori.
Right.
And apply that to others.
Okay. Right.
So
now let me ask you a question.
So that's the meaning right there.
Oh, no. Let me ask you a question. Are you a Negro?
If you want to say that means black, then yes.
No. I'm asking you, are you a Negro?
For the literal meaning of black, yes.
Are you a colored person?
Yes.
So you a Negro, you black, you a colored person. Are you an Afro-American?
Black is a color.
Now I'm asking, are you an Afro-American?
There's no evidence of that.
Bro, they called you Afro-American at one point in time, though. And it was a popular term.
Then they switched it around, too.
No, you're killing your own argument.
No,
if you're not, listen, Afro-American was just as prevalent as African-American at one time.
Actually,
but
yes, it wasn't. Color was more prevalent.
No, I didn't say more or less. I say it was as prevalent as African-American because everybody don't identify as African-American.
I have to say it wasn't.
No, everybody don't identify as African-American. Still a large amount of people identify as black. So when I say Afro-American was as prevalent as Afro-American was as prevalent as Afro-American at one time, I'm saying not today, but at one time it actually was.
No, I disagree with that.
Okay, but are you Afro-American? You're not African-American. Are you African-American?
No.
Now that's a very prevalent term that they gave you.
They gave us.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. If they try to do with Mori,
but Mori is different because you say that the natives say it means those who went west, but somebody else saw them as
the Europeans that came from Greece,
right,
or Rome, one of the two.
Greece.
That's what they called them, black people.
No,
just like they calling you African American, but you don't accept it.
I could have sworn you just said at the beginning that they called themselves the Mori.
They called them. Listen, let me break this down one more time. The people identify themselves as the Mori people.
Right. Those who went west.
Strabo came from Greece and came upon these people. And he said they called themselves the native name Mori. He went back and they began to say that these black people, that's his description,
right,
called themselves Mori. So the future would have it that they would associate the adjective black with the word Mori, when in fact they had it wrong because Mori doesn't mean black. Mori means Westerner or one that went west. So just because they got it
to be black, right?
Listen to me. Just because they got it mixed up, that don't mean that one should have to follow that mix up.
But just like
you don't want to follow African American.
But he didn't mix it up because he saw black people call themselves Mori. He started calling them all.
So people see you and they see an African and call you African American.
But what he didn't do, I'm gonna tell you how he didn't mix it up, because he didn't call the Egyptians Moors.
But that's not the same tribe, brother.
But how you gonna
he didn't call the people Moors. He called them what they identified as. So if he went to Egypt and people call themselves Cometians, he will call them Cometians. Then we know that Kemet is associated with black, but that's not the name of the land. That's not the name of the people.
Right. You said he called them what they identify as, but then he identified them as black, and that's where he started calling them all black, except for the Egyptians.
But that's his identification.
But still, that means Moor means black, as he put it.
Brother. Moor don't mean black, brother. I just told you, go get the book Strabo Geography. Brother.
Okay, to somebody else it means black, other than the tribe.
Yeah, I mean, people give you names and labels all the time. That don't mean that that's what it is.
But if they look at the people,
that doesn't mean that's what it is, brother.
They look like a Moor. That means black,
brother. They said, bro, I'm gonna say it again. If you look at my jacket and you say, well, what you have on? I say it's a jacket. And then you say jacket means black. Is that true?
If that's the only color jacket I see at any time, then that is true.
But you know that jacket don't mean black though.
No, if you don't
Jacket
give
don't
me,
mean
if you don't give me other meaning,
jacket can come in variables, brother.
but if you only show me black, then that's all I can go by.
Well, that's your ignorance then. But that don't mean that's what jacket mean.
But did he find any other Moors that weren't black?
Brother, brother, peace, brother. I'm done, man. Bro, you defeating your own argument, brother. You can't convince nobody that argument. But I appreciate you though, because you give me a chance to break this stuff down. I appreciate you, brother. I gotta go.
I don't mind educating, man. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I feel you, brother. Oh my goodness. Who we got in here?